If you had $15,000 to refresh your house, would you do it and would it be enough? We asked ourselves the same questions, and we also did it on a 2,000 square foot house that was already in pretty good shape, but there were some neglected spaces that were incomplete. There were some spaces that just weren't us, and there were some things that had to be done. So in this video, we're gonna go through everything we changed. We're gonna talk about what it costs, what we did ourselves, what somebody else did for us, and we're gonna talk about whether or not we think it was worth it. But we're also gonna talk about the one thing that totally blew up our budget, but didn't have to. Just the thought of upgrading your home sounds expensive. With the $15,000 budget that we're working with here, it's gonna be some paint, it's gonna be some construction, it's gonna be some furnishings and fixtures. Things we had to do, things we wanted to do. Basic things like we didn't have address letters, to things like we have no furniture in this room, to things like this is just not our color style, there's no character here. From the onset, to manage the budget, we plan on doing some things ourselves, so some DIY, but we know there's some things we're gonna have to pay some others to do. So right when we walk in the house, there's something we had to do. Right in the dining room was a bar. It was permanent, it had plumbing in it. That had to go so we could have a dining room table. So in this one space, which was both dining room and kitchen, we removed the bar, we filled in the flooring, capped plumbing, got a dining room table, a new chandelier, wallpaper on 2 walls, and we painted the ceiling a dark color. So no longer was this just one white sterile space, it was complete with character and to our style. As we walk further into the house, past the dining room, we get to the living room. Again, it was totally white. There was no focal point, at least in contrasting colors. It was pretty bare. This is the heart of the home. We needed to spruce it up. This was a want to. What we chose to do was use our favorite color, iron ore, and paint the existing fireplace. So it was just paint. But we also added an art light, which was a notable value in the fixture. And believe it or not, we actually didn't hook it up to electricity. It was just for looks. The art light went over the TV, and now we had a Florida vaulted ceiling focal point. And then on the side, we used the masking paint to use that same iron ore color to paint the wooden frame of the window. So painting the fireplace, painting the windows, and the ceiling in the kitchen dining area, that was all the same iron ore color. But given it was all white before, really made some of these elements pop, gave it some character, certainly more of our style, but that was all just paint. If you're liking this, or you're thinking, I've got a bigger project, a bigger budget to deal with, we've got one of those too. Check out our video where we go from farmhouse to modern traditional. It's about changing the look and feel of a house. We do tear out a kitchen. We do tear out pantries. We change entire spaces. We also work on the inside and the out. About a 6-figure project where we go from builder basic to modern luxury. Stephanie and I walk through everything we did before and after. You've got to check it out. Moving upstairs, we had one room in the whole house that really had no character. There was nothing special about it. And that's why we wanted to focus in the budget on that room. What we chose to do in this bedroom was add trim. We changed out furniture. We added a chandelier in the ceiling. We added a wall-mounted mirror. We also added new nightstands in the furniture package. And we put some lights on the wall that really dressed it up. So really this room, we went truly from builder basic because there was nothing special about it. And we modernized it. We gave it a little bit of luxury. And this was all DIY. As you can see in these other spaces upstairs, they were pretty complete. They had a little bit of character. They didn't need any pizzazz, but this one bedroom. Outside, there's some things that we both had to do and wanted to do that are gonna improve the value, also the security and safety of our home. But there's one thing coming up that just totally blew up our plan. Because no longer are we just by ourselves in our private space. We had to think about what we were building along the public road. Going back outside, the front porch, the front landscaping, it needed help. The front of the house had no address letters, so if you got to the right place, you didn't know it. And so we chose these, what I thought were very Broadmoor appropriate gold address letters. We put those in, and then the landscaping package, again, we did that ourselves. We bought the plants, we had a little design. We're carrying ideas from other properties we've owned. We leaned on some evergreen boxwoods. We used some grasses. We got a crepe myrtle. There were some existing plants we worked with, and there was an existing oak tree on the side. We worked with that. So the last big area of upgrade on this project had to do with the outside, where we had to get a fence on the property. We're along the public area. We have kids. We have a pet. We were going to want to be able to rent this place. The neighborhood is Airbnb friendly and popular. And so we were thinking about all of these factors, and we knew we had to have a fence around the property. So this side porch had been empty. Great space, screened in, but no furniture, therefore underutilized. It was a great space, great views. Little to no privacy, though, because we're right on this road where a lot of public activity happens, especially on busy weekends. But we also started to have a feeling that just a basic wooden fence along the side porch might not be enough. Within our community, there was a lot of precedent already with some nice brick walls. Some were tall or 8 foot tall around an entire courtyard. Really elevated and matured the property. It was special. It was also way more expensive. And so as we endeavored to figure out what this was going to cost, obviously this wasn't going to be something we DIY'd, but we also didn't want an 8 foot tall wall like we saw others build. So what we came up with was a masonry wall that integrated design details from our home. The same type of brick, the same type of mortar detail, some indentation. But we also didn't want to run this brick wall all the way around the property for 2 reasons. One, because that was going to be way, way over budget. But 2, there was an opportunity to turn the carport we had into a garage apartment. That was for sure going to be a later project, but the prospect of changing the carport to a garage apartment was a real value add one day. And so we did stick with the original wooden fence around the back part of the property. Easy to demo, easy to manage, but we were going to make a meaningful first step and a great grand wall to uplift the property, contain it, and really improve that side porch. Another thing we did on this wall, we painted it ourselves. We had white painted brick at other homes, and so we kind of knew the right paint to do, the right process to follow. We did use a primer and a special paint, and I sprayed that myself. So we did a little bit of a DIY. So once we got the brick wall done, and we got the side porch furnished, and then we got the uplights on the interior of the white wall, the end result, especially in the evenings with the lighted wall, the furnished space, really became one of my favorite places on the property. The yard outside between the wall and the side porch, it really felt like one big room at night. When people walked by, no longer did we have to have the awkward staring 5 feet away about whatever we were talking about because the wall blocked that. But at an appropriate distance on the corners, you could see over the wall, you could see what was going on, you could even talk to people going by, but there was an implied privacy there that we achieved. Now, super controversial. Was the money we spent on the wall worth it? That was around a $30,000 project. That blew up the budget. That was a personal decision, an investment in the property we made that was not in the original scope. We just need to contain the yard. But as we thought deeper about it, we looked at the precedent in the neighborhood. We looked at the property we were trying to make incremental improvements in over time. We thought it was worth it. And we loved the end result. So the goal was to totally refresh, update, and complete our home for $15,000. And we did it. Yes, we made the decision to invest in the brick wall. And that was outside of it. But the original wooden fence idea would have worked within it. Somebody else built it. We painted it. We made that part work. How would you spend $15,000 on your house? Would it make a difference? Would it be worth it to you? I can speak for Stephanie and myself. This was totally worth it for us because we had complete spaces. Most notably, the dining room and the side porch, a big part of the square footage out of the total 2,000 could now be used. We also, with quite frankly some paint and landscaping and trim, really brought our style to this house and made it personal. Boy, $15,000 can go a lot of different ways. You can spend $15,000 just on a range or some other appliance or a piece of furniture. You can spend $15,000 just on landscaping. But here, and maybe you can too, really stretch it and let it impact so many parts of the inside and outside of your house and completely change the way it feels and functions for you and your family. Did we cover everything we needed to or should have? Maybe you've got some questions that we didn't answer. Let us know in the comments. If you're watching this and you're new to us, we do this stuff all the time. So hit the bell, subscribe so you don't miss any more Broadmoor moments.